Hello, hello, and welcome to Speak Podcast. We are back. It is episode 19, and you got me, Blue, and you got Luca in the building.
Sup?
Oh my god, I hate when you do that.
Why?
I don't like it. I like when you say hello, like a normal person. No, I'm kidding.
Hello, how is everyone? Better?
Yeah, that's nice. I like that.
Uh-huh.
How are you?
Fine, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Just hanging, working, things like that. I missed you.
Oh, oh. Are you talking to me or the chat? I'm sorry, I'm confused.
I mean, I missed you and I missed the chat too, but I was talking to you when I said
Okay.
it.
Oh, okay. I missed you too. Yeah, honestly, anytime you say anything nice to me, I'm shocked, really.
What?
So,
Oh, Lord. I try to be a
yeah,
good person
yeah.
and I just meet this pushback from you and everyone else.
What are you talking about? Listen, guys, behind the scenes, right? I asked Blue if she loves me, and she's just like, "Oh," and I was like, "Oh, okay, cool, cool,
Excuse me?
cool."
Is
Don't
it?
ex- what?
Oh
I'm
my,
gonna start recording our conversations, fam.
oh my God. I can't believe this is happening right now.
Uh-huh, yeah.
Thank you, everyone that is stopping by and chat. We missed you all. We are so glad that you're here. It's been a while. It's been some time. We do have a special show for you. We're gonna do things a little bit different today. It's just us two, and we're gonna kind of like explain what's been going on with the show and things like that. Because we had some drama, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
I would name it that. I would name
Hmm.
it that. I think that's a good name for it. It's interesting because when we do the show, guys, we get really close. And before we decided to do the show, we kind of hit it off when we first met. But we didn't know each other for very long before we started this show together. And we kind of just instantly became close. And I guess it's because we're very similar, right? Would you say?
Yeah, yeah. I definitely think that's what it was.
So I think with that becomes this like thing where sometimes we butt heads. And sorry to say, guys, we butted heads recently. Um
Yeah, it was
and
pretty bad.
Yeah, it was pretty bad, guys. It sounds stupid. Like, it's gonna sound super silly after we explain it. But in the moment, we were kind of upset, and we were kind of hurt. I think those were the feelings.
Yeah.
So let's get into it. Let's get into it. So, of course, everyone has a different version of stories most times. I feel that when people get into things, people feel differently. People think that the other party is behaving a particular way because of our past, because of how, our insecurities, because of just different factors. And it's easy to kind of let that get out of hand and let it affect you to the point where you make rash decisions, and they don't necessarily end up being the best decisions, and they can negatively impact your relationships more so than you intended. And then, of course, like communication and things like that. Like, a lot of things got jumbled up during our little situation. I'm going to call it a situation, okay? I think that sounds better.
Okay.
So, here's what happened. And all of you guys want to know. All right, how did this start? Okay, first we were having a discussion about how we should handle a guest in terms of communicating with this guest, which is fine. Things, that happens. And I had a different opinion than Luca, and when we were trying to discuss it, first of all, our first mistake was that we were discussing this over text message. And now you guys all know when you text someone, it's hard to know what's coming through in terms of like how the person's feeling, if they're giving you attitude, if they're being, you know, smart ass, if they are not doing anything at all and just being normal and you're just reading into it. Lots of different things, and that happens to me often from both ends. I feel like people are being like dicks sometimes when they write me, and then they're not. Or sometimes I'm the one that's coming across as like a dick, and I don't mean to. Yeah. So I think that first, that's the big mistake, because when you're having a discussion, especially something that's a little bit more sensitive, it's better because humor comes across in text message a lot easier than other kinds of feelings, I think. What do you think?
Oh yeah, I definitely agree with that.
It's easier to express humor through written form. And then, of course, there's like GIFs or GIFs, however you say them, and images and things like that you can send to sort of like make your point when a joke is up. But when it comes to more complicated situations, it's better to talk about it like with your voice. Like, it's better to just call someone. If you can't meet up with them, just call them. And we learned that after this incident.
Yeah. I would like to point out that if anything was a culmination of things, me and Blue had been getting into little arguments here and there, and a lot of things were said and a lot of things were brought up, but nothing was really resolved.
Mm-hmm.
I think our mistake was we met and we became really close, but we kind of skipped the stages of a normal friendship and just went straight into the deep stuff, mostly just because we were doing this show together where you talk about your feelings and the things that had happened to you.
Mm-hmm.
So even though we know all of these things about each other that other people wouldn't know, it's like the little nuances when we speak to each other and the simple things kind of fly over our heads because we didn't get to know each other normally.
Mm-hmm.
So
I agree.
Yeah, I think that even though the argument that we ended up having was really silly, it just was built up based off a lot of other misunderstandings that never really got resolved. They got swept under the rug and just, ignored, which wasn't the right thing to do.
Right. It's always better to, I mean, life is busy. Things happen, but it's good to kind of make time for these things, for your relationships, especially if you're close, because eventually it all comes out. Like, if you think, oh, I'll just sweep it under the rug, it's fine, or like whatever, it's not that big of a deal, eventually it catches up to you. Yeah. So what was I up to? Oh yeah, so we were texting back and forth and we were getting a little heated because I mean, it's never fun when someone doesn't agree with you, especially when it becomes something that is important, like the show. And then you also have to the issue is that we didn't have time. I didn't have time in my schedule, but Luca felt like I could have made time. And I felt like it wasn't something that I needed to make time for necessarily. But she thought that it was because it was important. And so it kind of became just like a thing where it's just like, why we were just both getting bothered about the fact that the other person wasn't agreeing with us. And then Luca sent a text message when I decided that I wanted more information about what had happened with the guest, because she went and she was able to go and have a conversation with that person. Luca wrote something back that I took as disrespect, but I don't know if she necessarily meant it that way. And what happened from then was that I decided...
She broke my heart, guys. She totally stomped it into the ground. She crushed it. I was devastated. It was awful.
Okay, first of all, I didn't mean to break your heart. I was just angry. And it was actually really... See, the funny thing is that... Okay, guys, so I ignored Luca. Yeah, I did that. And I'm sorry about it. But I was kind of I was really upset in the moment, and I was really just in the mood of just I want to curse this person out right now. Like, my first instinct is always to be angry about things. And I mean, that's kind of like me and my defense mechanism. I kind of just like put up this wall. I don't let anyone in, and I just get mad, and I kind of just, push back. That's what I do. We kind of each have our flaws when it comes to these situations, because in our past we've been hurt. Like, we haven't been shielded, like, we've been through some shit. And so all that kind of makes you become this, like, you want to stop yourself from getting hurt. And me in particular, I don't like feeling disrespected. I feel that if I let people treat me a particular way, then I'm the stupid one. I blame myself for things like that. And so what I do is that I just push people away, or I'll just like ignore them, or I'll just like, curse them out and fucking go crazy. And out of all those situations, the best that I felt, I mean, it wasn't the best because I could have communicated it, but the best choice that I wanted at the time was to just ignore her, because I felt like first of all, I didn't want to lose her as a friend. It wasn't that far. And then I also didn't want to disrespect her back by cursing her out. So I was just like, I'm just gonna take some time. And I didn't tell her that I needed this time, which is something that, in hindsight, I felt like I should have done, no matter how I felt. Because it made it seem like I didn't want to be friends with her from her side of things, right? So tell them a little bit about how you were feeling, like, right when that happened, like right when I like wasn't getting back to you. How many days was it?
All right. It was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and she messaged me on Sunday.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was Sunday. I just want to start off by saying that I wasn't. See, okay, so here's what I said. I said, if you don't want to make time to speak to our guest, then I'm not going to waste my time explaining to you what they said to me. So that's what I said to her. And I wasn't trying to be disrespectful or rude. I was just telling you how I felt about the situation, which is I took time out of my day to talk to this person. The conversation only took a little bit of time, and then once it was done, it was done. And they explained how they felt. And I always feel like if someone is uncomfortable about a situation, or, they need a little bit more detail, that the best way to get through to them is to talk to them. And because I talked to this person, they changed their mind about what they didn't want to talk about initially. But the thing of it is that what they had to say to me was very in-depth, and it was detailed. And I specifically told them, I was like, hey, okay, cool. Thank you for letting me know. If you want to talk about this topic, just, you can just tell Blue that you're cool talking about it. And if she has any questions, you can just explain it to her. Because it's like, I didn't feel like I could properly explain someone else's feelings on the matter. So I was just kind of like, I'm not gonna, like, if you really can't take time out of your day to talk to our guests, I'm not gonna waste my time telling you what they said to me. Because I took her saying, I'm too busy to talk to our guest as this is a waste of my time. And so I responded accordingly. Now, the thing of it is that when she first started ignoring me, I was like, all right, cool. That's fine. Like, I didn't actually think she was ignoring me. I didn't think she would do that, right? By Saturday, I was kind of like, man, what the fuck? Like, I was feeling kind of distressed and panicking a bit, and I was really upset. And when I get upset, I talk to all of my friends about the situation to try to get their opinions on it, just to let all of my feelings out, because if I hold them in, I'll internalize them, and I didn't want to shut down or anything like that. So I was just kind of like, panicking with all of that stuff. It was pretty bad, guys. It was pretty bad. I thought she didn't want to be friends because I have this thing where, back when I was with my abusive ex, they would ignore me if I did anything they didn't like or said anything they didn't like, they would just ignore me for weeks on end. So I never knew what was going on. It was like a constant state of limbo. So when people choose to just ignore me over actually talking things out, I jump to the worst possible conclusion, and I just assume that they don't want to be friends anymore, or they don't like me anymore, or they don't want to talk, or they're sick of me, stuff like that. So I just assumed she didn't want to be friends anymore, and I was like, all right. So I decided to just cut ties completely, and I unfollowed her on literally every form of social media.
She
Actually,
unfollowed me, guys.
yeah. Actually, one of my friends was like, "I just saw that on your Xbox activity feed that says you and Blue are friends on Xbox. That's interesting." I'm like, "Huh, that is interesting. Yeah, I don't know about any of that." So I when it comes to my feelings, I'm very drastic and intense and emotional. And so I kind of went a bit overboard, unfollowing her everywhere. I left her Discord. I unfollowed her on Instagram. I deleted her number. I unfollowed her on Twitter. Um, I took her off my friends list on Xbox. And I was just kind of like, all right, she doesn't want anything to do with me. She hates me. I'll just leave her alone. And yeah.
Um, so, okay, so here's the thing, guys, in the chat. The issue was not that I didn't want to take time to speak to the guest. The issue was that we were speaking to guests via DM, which is what we do. And I think Luca felt that she could convince or like ask or see if the guest was feeling sort of like had reservations about the topic we were bringing up, and then kind of tell them more clearly over voice that this is what direction we were going to go with it, and it wouldn't necessarily be anything that would be like too controversial, which is what the guest was afraid of.
And the guest, he was like, well, if I talk about this, I don't know, I don't want Blue to demonize me, is basically what he was saying. Mm-hmm. So he was like really feeling that if he brought this up, you would take a definitive side and stance on it, and you would look down on him essentially. So.
Yeah, so the issue was not about speaking to a guest in general. The issue was about clarifying with a guest. And at the time, I had a lot of things to do. So I felt that one of us could speak to the guest and not necessarily both of us be there to speak to one guest. But Luca feels that both of us should be there in order to show a unite front. And I agree. I think that if we're both there, it shows a united front. But I feel that that's more something that's important for when there's an issue or, when a problem comes up or a complaint or something like that. Then we have to sort of, come together and do that. And if I knew necessarily that the guest had concerns about me and how I would react, then that is an issue. Then I think that's something we should talk about together. But I do feel that it's I think we just had a miscommunication. I didn't know the guest didn't necessarily ask to speak with us. It was more just Luca knew the person, so she felt, okay, I think we got to talk about this. And so she said, hey, let's talk about it. And they were gonna get on a party right when I was going to stream. And while, I mean, things are different, right? Because like, if I knew that it would be like a short one, then that's fine, no problem. But I'm thinking like a discussion of like 30 minutes or something like that. And I didn't have the time at the time. And I don't think the guests had the time either. They were talking about maybe doing it the next day. But then I guess they talked about it and they figured out a time to talk. Anyway, the thing is that I think that we miscommunicated it. And I definitely feel that I'm going to be taking things into consideration more so in terms of like how Luca feels about things, because if she feels that she'll feel more comfortable with me being there to talk about things like with her, then I can't just be, I have to figure it out too, because I can't just expect her to always do things alone if she doesn't feel comfortable with it. You know what I mean? And I think that, I mean, now I know. I didn't know about it before. And the thing about the show is that it kind of does help. I mean, I wish I had a lot more time, and I'm going to have to figure out how to figure it out with both of our schedules, because Luca also is busy. Like, we both work. We both have full-time jobs. Like, we both have, you know, different things in our lives that are happening, and different people and all that stuff. So it's why it's important to find the time. It's also important to make sure you don't give, like, we have to equally divide, you know what I mean? So, all right. So what are we up to in the story? We're up to me ignoring you.
You breaking my heart, yes.
You unfollowing me on every single thing, which I was just like, oh my God. So what happened? Oh, okay. So Luca did text me before she unfollowed me, right? Because she said that if I don't get back to her, then she's just gonna assume that we don't want to be friends that I don't want to be friends with her anymore. And I didn't exactly like that text when I saw it, because I felt like she was basically trying to manipulate me to get me to talk to her, right? Based off of what I've been through, because in my experience, that's what would happen to me. You know, people would try and threaten me or say that they'll do something in order to get me to do what they want. And I don't think she meant it that way, but that's how I took it. And again, this is all just like our past affecting the way we feel about what's going on now. And so after that, I ended up not speaking for another day, because I was just like, oh, that like kind of like it just like made me angry again. And so the next day I was just like, all right, this is getting ridiculous. So when she wrote that, she unfollowed me because I didn't write back. And so the next day
I unfollowed her because she was posting selfies with some ugly filter and ignoring my text. So I was like, all right, well, she's done with me. So there.
Why are you calling my filters ugly?
They're pretty ugly, ma'am.
My God. Well, you keep making me lose my train of thought. You just called my filters ugly. I want to fight you. That was rude.
Yeah, okay, miss. They're pretty ugly. They're pretty ugly.
What was I doing? Oh, okay. So what was going on at the time for me was that I was still celebrating my birthday with my family, and I was still doing streams that someone agrees with you in the chat. Okay, well, I was still doing
That's
streams.
Why you my G-man. That's why you my man. It's my dude right here.
I was still doing streams that were like super important. I was like, you know, gaining a whole bunch of followers and things like that. So mostly I didn't want to get in a bad mood so that it affected more things in my life, right? And so while I'm trying to upkeep appearances, and not let things faze me, that in turn made her like angry and feel like I was just done with her, right? As she said.
Yeah.
So my issue, my filters. So so my issue, right, is that so she unfollows me, right? And I'm like, okay, so is this like another ploy to like get me to talk again? Because what the fuck, right? Whatever. So the next day I'm just like, man, like we would have done speak today, but I ended up canceling the show the day before because
of me.
Well, mostly because I was ignoring you.
She said specifically, she's like, I canceled the show because of you, Luca. I was like, oh, okay.
I did say that. I was okay. So the what we do before the show is that we talk about what we're gonna talk about, what direction we're gonna take things in. So I didn't get the information that I was looking for, right? And so I felt like I didn't want to talk to her about it, and I didn't want to pretend everything was all right to do the show, because like, as you guys know, our show is super real. Like, it's gonna come through if I'm upset with Luca, obviously. And so,
Oh yeah, definitely. My girl, let me tell you, or my fuck that shit. One of those is gonna be like, so my friend has been ignoring me for a few days instead of talking to me about her issue. What do you think, Blue? Like, I definitely would have done that. So
anyway, yeah, so I decided, yeah, it wasn't a good idea to try and do the show in this manner, and so I canceled it. But then on Sunday, I did miss the show, and I did feel bad about the guests. I apologized to our guest, and they were fine. Like, they said, we'll just reschedule, no problem. And I hope that they listen to this to sort of get an explanation. I mean, they might have already gotten an explanation from Luca, but I just feel I do want to apologize again to our guests for that situation. But I didn't want us to put out a mediocre show. I'm not about putting out shit just to put it out. Like, it needs to be of a particular quality. I mean, we're not like super professional, whatever, but we want you guys to listen to us, and it needs to be genuine. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that everything was a-okay when it wasn't. And I feel that I think that decision in terms of the show was fine. I wish that we would have been able to settle things beforehand, but the timeline didn't work, whatever. And so we decided I decided that I missed her, especially that day, because I said, like, oh, I would have been talking to her today, we would have been doing the show. And so I decided to message her. And what did you feel when I messaged you?
sick.
Why? What do you mean sick?
I felt anxious and unhappy.
I honestly wasn't sure if you were gonna write me back.
Well, I considered not doing it, but then I was like, well, I don't want to potentially make her feel like I've been feeling. So
That's why I didn't unfollow you back. I was like, this son of a boob decided to unfollow me on freaking social media. And then I was like, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't follow her back, because, that petty side. I was like, yeah. But then I was like, nah, I don't want to do that. I don't want to not be friends anymore. Like, I didn't want that to happen. And so when I wrote you, we sort of talked it out a little. We made another mistake of texting back and forth. And I think mostly because we weren't ready to talk on the phone yet. And so with the texting, the good thing about the texting is that you can.
For me is that, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I wanted to ask you if we could talk, but then I was afraid you'd ignore me again. So I just kept it to the DMs.
Well, for me, I think that when you text someone, there's at least that time to think about what you're gonna say, sort of, so that you don't like say something you regret when you're like angry. And I think that kind of helped in terms of like that particular time, because it was kind of heated. But then, I mean, eventually we talked on the phone, guys. Don't son of a boob. What? I said son of a boob. What was I saying? Oh, okay. So yeah, I think in that particular time it helped me, because it kind of gave me like some sort of like clear explanation of how you were feeling and what is it that was going on. And then eventually we were able to talk on the phone the next day, right? Because Luca was saying, I said, okay, so do you want to be friends, and do you want to do the show? And Luca said that she needed some time to get back to me about it. So I gave her some time.
Yeah, she gave me a day and a half. I'm over here like, okay, I'll take like the week to consider it, to think about it. Tuesday morning. So did you come to a decision, Luca? ma'am. And I'm like,
Yeah. Because I wanted to know if we were going to do the show the following week. Today. So on Tuesday, because Wednesday we usually prepare for the show. So on Tuesday I said, hey, so what's up?
She definitely didn't say it like that. It was very scary. I just,
Did you come to a decision? So she was just like, I mean, okay. I was gonna wait a few days, but all right. And then she's like, can I just call you? And so we talked on the phone about it. And we each discussed about like how each thing made us feel. And we talked about what we thought the issue was. And a lot of the situations brought up feelings from our past. And so that intensified it, which we agreed. I mean, it became more of an issue because of our past. And the feelings were like magnified by like 10, and we were both super vulnerable at the time. Luca decided that her way to process all of this would be to, sort of like talk about me behind my back, basically.
I mean, I told her I talked about her.
She told me that she told people, so I mean that's good. But at the time,
I literally I told everyone, guys. I told all of my friends. Some people who aren't even my friends, they heard it and stuff. But I was just really upset. And when I get upset, I talk to my other friends about it because I need their help to process it, And also, it's just like, I needed comfort. Because she broke my heart. I'm just saying.
And she was like that. She said that she felt that we weren't going to be friends. So she said it didn't matter, that she was telling people. Which I guess I kind of agree with. Like if we were not friends anymore, I guess it's like fine. But I will say people that Luca told and that didn't decide to, maybe come and talk to me about it. You could have talked to me about it. I would have liked to have someone to talk to about the situation, but
you're very scary.
Apparently,
they're all scared of you.
Apparently, all right. Well, there's that. So I'm scary, guys.
I'm scared of her as well. So yeah,
I'm a nice person.
Some would say that Blue is the nicer one out of the two of us, and I would say that's probably true. Yeah.
Oh, man. You have definitely blocked more people on Twitter than I have.
Okay, but that's because people won't leave me alone. I mean, let's not get into it, but it's just like, yeah, people need to leave me alone.
All right. So after we talked about it, we kind of like joked about like what happened, and we were just like, yo, this shit was kind of stupid. Like, and then we were just like, yeah, everything just kind of clumped up into a ball and became just like a thing. And so we talked it through. We figured out what each other should do to kind of make the situation better, and we decided that we were going to start talking over the phone about situations so that they don't get out of hand. That was one. And so we didn't read into each other's like, I don't know, text messages. And I think we also decided that if we needed time, we were going to say so that the other person didn't feel that they were getting ignored. And we decided that if we can't agree about something, then we'll just agree to disagree unless it's something that, needs to be decided on, like something for the show and things like that. And we also decided that we were going to take each other's feelings into consideration, more so than we have been. What else? And I think we said that we need to communicate a little bit better in terms of how we're feeling. Just like all these things that people kind of, I mean, we felt that we were doing these things, right? But then it turns out that we were kind of getting things lost in the mix. Like we weren't exactly doing it as clearly as we wanted to, Would you agree with that?
Yeah. I would like to say that I have been feeling not completely happy with how uh, my friendship with Blue was going. And it comes to some aspects. I felt like she didn't care about my opinion, and that in turn didn't care about me. And since it's like when I feel this way about people, when I feel like people don't care about me, I usually push them away and I drop them. But I couldn't do that with her because, despite how I act sometimes, I do care about her a lot. And so, because I wasn't 100% in control of my feelings, I was lashing out, and I wasn't as open to communication as I could have been because she was trying, and I kind of shut down on her, but not completely. I feel like maybe I was trying to punish her for making me feel the way I was feeling, and that in turn just kind of led to the situation because me and her used to like, I mean, we would never fight. We never fought before. We were usually really cool with each other. But I was the one who started pulling away, and I was the one who stopped calling her or responding because I didn't know how to handle how I was feeling. And I feel like, it's on both of us, of course, but I do feel a lot of guilt in that aspect because she didn't know what was going on and I wouldn't tell her, even though she would ask me. So,
I do feel like I I mean, I feel like I guess I can come off as a little bit just demanding, bossy. Some will take that as like initiative, but when it comes to friends, you kind of have to give them that floor space, even if they don't necessarily ask for it. My issue is that I wait for people. I expect people to be like me, and I expect them to tell me exactly how they're feeling and to know how they're feeling. But a lot of the times people don't know, people don't necessarily sit down and think about it maybe, or they'll just like realize it and then just push it aside like it's fine. I don't know. I expect people to just say exactly what they're thinking when they're thinking it for the most part. Because that's kind of what I do. But I have to remember that not everyone's like me. Like if I feel like there's an issue, I'm gonna bring it up. I'm just like that. But sometimes it can be a little bit too brash, and it can be sort of too, I guess, I don't know, I guess too like in your face, not everyone is into communicating about things like in that way. I'm confrontational. I'm not afraid to get into it with people. I mean, that's just how I've been like that in my family for the longest. And so I have to sometimes think about a different approach, so that it doesn't turn into just like a fight, because you can communicate things without fighting about them. I do think that I'm going to make more of an effort to sort of give the floor or value other people's opinions or my friends' opinions. Let's clear that up. And just so that everyone feels appreciated, right? Because nobody wants to be in a friendship where they feel like the other person doesn't love them or appreciate them. I think that once we start doing the things that we said we're gonna do, then it'll clear up. And I thought it was important to bring it up on the show because I feel that we learned a lot about this, right? No one's perfect. We all have our issues. So we learned a lot, and I think we grew from this situation. And sometimes in a friendship, it takes like butting heads and fighting to sort of grow, to sort of open up the door to other ways of, dealing with things. And so I feel like when we get into it again, it'll be better because it won't be like this. It won't be so like trying to figure out what the other person's thinking or feeling. Like we'll just know because we'll say it. and we'll have some things to sort of compare it to, right? Because that's another thing where we didn't get that time to sort of build up a history to figure out, oh, okay, last time we had this conversation, they told me this, right? So, yeah. Those are some things that we learned in this situation.
But she totally broke my heart, guys. I just want to put that out there.
Oh my gosh. I'm not even gonna. Yeah, I broke her heart, guys. But I apologized. And so her heart is back together. I sewed it up. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. With some dissolving freaking. That's disgusting if you think about it. Dissolving stitches on your heart.
I mean, okay.
It's Halloween soon, guys. So, all right. So we do have some questions, some follow-up questions that we want to sort of ask ourselves and sort of delve into this a little bit more. I think it'll help everyone else for you guys going through some issues with your friends. Yeah. So Luca came up with all these questions, guys. I just want to give her a little recognition.
Yeah.
The first one is, what was the fight? Oh, was the fight inevitable? And could have we done I can't talk. Could we have done something to prevent it? Go.
I'm sure we could have done something to prevent it.
I think so.
I feel like, yeah, you know, if I had at least been like, yeah, I'm having some issues with you, fam. I think we need to talk about this. Instead of just being like, all right, well, she doesn't care about what I have to say, so I'm going to stop trying with her.
I think
it would have, yeah.
I think that the disagreement itself would have been inevitable, right? Because it's something that we have to discuss and figure out for the show. But I don't think it would have been a fight if we would have earlier sort of talked about how we feel and how we can prevent the bad feelings from coming up, you know? Because you guys, what the fuck? Like, think about how your friends feel. Duh. So the next question is, what can we do better to ensure we don't fall into destructive patterns if we fight? And so destructive patterns being, unfollowing your friend on social media.
/ ignoring your friend for days on end instead of communicating with them while posting selfies with ugly filters.
/ sending your friend a text message being super petty, like, I'm not gonna tell you shit, bitch. That's, that. / ignoring your friend when they say, hey, do you want to be friends anymore? Yeah.
Listen, I definitely didn't say it like that, but okay.
Yeah, so, yeah, those destructive patterns. So, guys, it's important to realize what you did wrong, right? Don't do this thing where you're just like, hey, yeah, you're the one with all the problems. I ain't do shit, and get the fuck out of my life. Because you can't grow from that. You gotta own it. You did something fucked up. All right, I did something fucked up. I'm sorry. And I'm gonna try not to do it again. Basically, you go from there. The patterns that we fall into are what ruin relationships. If you realize that you are fighting with people over the same things, it's about that time to sort of look at yourself and be like, hey, what's my problem, right? And yeah, from there you can change a little bit, change how you handle things. It's not necessarily changing yourself. It's more changing how you handle things, right? Changing your reaction to things.
Yeah.
Communication is important, but there are times when it seems easier to let it go in order to avoid a fight. What sort of complications can that lead to? Okay, this is definitely about me. I definitely let a bunch of shit go because I was just like, it's not that big of a deal, whatever. But what happens is that turns into resentment. And eventually you kind of do this thing where you're just like, hey, listen, what the fuck? Like, I've been letting things go and I've been being the cool one. And now, like, can you just at least try to give me some slack? And then that's not really good because then you hold something against someone that the person didn't know that you had there to begin with. And I think that if you talk about the smaller situations, it leads to better resolvement for the other for the bigger situations, you know? Like small fights might be small fights, but you learn something, even if it's a little thing, from each one. Do you agree?
Yeah.
What the? You're gonna say more than yeah, right? Like, these are the questions did you write this question thinking about what me and what I was doing, or did you think about something?
Oh no, doing? I just wrote it down.
Oh my god, she's a genius, everyone. She just thinks of questions and then just automatically apply. Look at that.
I mean, I was thinking about our situation. I was thinking about something that one of our friends mentioned to me, because she lets a lot of stuff go, and she doesn't feel bitter or resentful towards people. So she's able to do that, but I'm not able to do that. I'm a very spiteful person deep down / pretty much on the surface. And if I let something go, I'm still going to be thinking about it and probably holding it against the other person. I used to do that with my ex all the time. Yeah, so I was thinking more of myself, and then I was thinking about our friend who's able to let stuff go, and I was like, I don't know if I'm able to do that, so.
Okay, so the next question. Is there a chance for bitterness to grow if people don't talk it out?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Hell fucking yeah. Hell yeah. I mean, the problem, right, with not talking, and this is the issue. People think that they don't need to communicate how they're feeling because, well, for one, they might think it's not that serious or it's not that important, which is, it's not true. You guys, it's important. How you feel is important. You gotta express how you feel. And I know a lot of people are not always used to that. They kind of just bottle things inside and they sort of just let things fall where they may. And it's not necessarily a good thing because people can't guess how you feel. Like, I can't read your fucking mind, you know? Just saying. I think it's important to talk about it. If not, then it becomes, like I said before, resentment. Like you get angry faster about something because it's happened before, except the person didn't know before you had an issue with it. So you get even more angry later on the line, you know? And then it just becomes this like cycle. And
yeah,
you know, that's how things blow up, man.
Yeah, that's very true. I read about that in my emotional intelligence novel that I've been reading for work.
Fuck? So. The what?
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 Emotional intelligence?
I'm sorry, you read?
I was an English major, miss.
I'm kidding.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. I don't read books.
Well, it's a really good one. I think I would definitely recommend it. It's good for knowing how to deal with certain situations.
That's nice. You can give me the notes on that, I think.
Oh my god.
You could read it for me and then like sum it up and like send me exactly what it says like in the book so I don't have to read it. Sounds good?
Okay.
Communication is also hard when it feels like the other person is not receptive. What can you do when you feel like you're not getting through to your friend? So I was definitely I was thinking of
how you feel towards me. Thank you for letting me finish my sentence. Thank you.
I'm just kidding. I don't know what I was. Wait, what do you mean?
Well, it's because you said, what you've said before. You're like, I don't know how you feel, Luca, most of the time. I can't tell what you're thinking or feeling because you don't give me anything.
Yeah.
You're very closed off sometimes. I get confused around you because I don't know what to say or what to ask. Never know what you're feeling about anything at all, ever. So I ask questions, but the questions
annoy your ass.
So.
Dude, yeah. She'll be like, why are you questioning me? And I'm like, because I don't know what the hell you're feeling. And then she's like, well, why are you questioning me? I hate when people question me. And I'm like, oh my God, here we go. Here's a tangent now, guys. We're just going to go to a different era or a different freaking space because I can't get an answer to my freaking question. And then it turns into another thing. And I'm like, all right, never mind. So now what I'm going to do is say, hey, I need to know how you're feeling. We can talk about this now or later. But if you would like to talk about it now, it would be great so that we can further talk about this situation that is at hand.
Are you going to say exactly that?
Yes, I'm going to say, hey, I'm going to use exactly. This is what I'm going to say, Luca, I need to ask you something, but I hope you don't get upset with me because I'm asking this question so that we can talk about this situation in a more productive manner. And then you're going to say, really, Blue? Really? And I'm going to say, what? I'm trying to help us. See? It works.
Okay.
Anyhow, yeah, I do think it's important. Like, okay, you have friends, you know what their buttons are, right? So while you don't want to push those buttons because that's kind of fucked up, there are times where when you're angry, it's like tempting to just be like, you know, either just to drop it all and just be like, fuck this shit, I'm not doing it. Or to just like push those buttons and just be like, well, if you know, were like this, then it would be this and this and that. And like the issue with that is that it's not super helpful. So if you feel that the person is not receptive, maybe express that to them and say, hey, I'm trying to figure this out and you're not making it easier. And I'm hoping that we can figure out how to make it easier so that we don't run into these situations, right? Which is basically how I broke it down for Luca. And she was receptive after I told her. But I wasn't saying that before. I was just kind of like letting it be and just trying to avoid pushing those buttons, basically. But I guess avoiding that kind of made it harder, and B, it made me kind of like bothered in a way because I was just like, I shouldn't have to, you know, walk around. I felt like I was like avoiding minefields just to sort of like get through situations, you know, and you don't want someone to feel like that. Yeah. So next question is, when do you decide enough is enough and it's time to let the friendship go?
I think that it's when you start intentionally starting to hurt each other as a way to get back at them, I guess, for making you feel the way that you feel. And you do it on a consistent basis and you're always picking fights. And it's just like you feel extremely unhappy when you get messages from them or stuff like that. Like there are tells for unhealthy relationships because it's not talked about a lot, but friendships can be unhealthy as well as romantic relationships. And that's not as explored in media as abusive romantic relationships are. But unhealthy friendships are a thing, and you just have to know how to look out for the signs of it, you know?
Mm-hmm. I do think that, you know, when your relationships become, because here's the thing, there's a line, right, where if you're angry at your friend and you do something, for the most part, like that's sort of normal. I don't think it's healthy, right? If you feel like you're doing that, then you have to sort of evaluate yourself and figure out why is it that you feel it's okay to hurt your friends if you feel hurt, because it shouldn't be your go-to. And so I feel that it's important to think about, you know, how you're handling things and how you are sort of like thinking about things when everything happens. If you feel that you're automatically, if you feel hurt, right, and you don't say that you feel hurt, think about why. If you feel hurt and you do something to hurt someone back, think about why. Especially if you do something to hurt someone back before saying how you feel. Because I understand if you tell someone how you feel and they completely disregard you, then that's something that you know, of course you're going to feel hurt. And then you might do something in that feeling to sort of, I guess, hurt someone back. I mean, me personally, I don't feel comfortable with hurting someone back purposely. I don't want someone to do that to me, so I try not to do it back. If someone hurts me, I kind of just try to figure out, okay, is there a way to get over this? Is there a way to move on? And is there a way to sort of, I guess, think about the situation? Because what I do when I get into different kinds of incidents is I replay them in my mind, and I try to think about what I could have done differently, how I could have made things a little better. And the problem with that sometimes is that I kind of blame myself for a lot of these things, and it's not always my fault, you know. And then sometimes I don't blame myself, and then I kind of am in denial because it was my fault. So there's all this bullshit, but I'm aware of these things, right? It's good to be aware of them because then you can kind of explain it later. I think that there's a way to handle things so that you don't feel that, number one, you're being hurtful, but number two, that you're getting your point across. So I just went on a little like side note there, but yeah, when you are trying to figure out if you should let someone go, especially if they're a friend, it's important to think about if the relationship, and I don't want to say is beneficial, because if you're friends with someone because you're getting something out of it, that's kind of fucked up. Like, let's be real. But if you're friends with someone and they are treating you with respect as much as you're treating them with respect, then it's important to just think about what you're getting from the relationship. That's basically what I'm saying.
Yeah. Every friendship has benefits and
but it sounds wrong to say like a friendship is beneficial. Like it's not necessarily. I mean, it's beneficial, but in terms of like how they're treating you, you know, not like, oh yeah, my friend buys me lunch and shit, so I'm gonna stay friends with this person. Like, don't be that person, please. So if someone's hurting you and you notice that it's definitely done on purpose, then it's not worth it to stay. Your friends have to respect you, your friends have to love you, and your friends have to, you know, treat you the way that you treat them, you know. So if for our situation in particular, I feel that if I would have reached out to Luca and she would have just like not wanted to talk about it, not want to talk to me and things like that, then I think I would have just been like, all right, so we're done here, you know. And I feel the same with her. If she, you know, if I never got back to her after and I just continued to ignore her, then yeah, she's right to just be like, all right, so then fuck you and bye. Because there's no point in like chasing after people. I believe that if you have a particular kind of relationship, then it makes sense to chase after them for a particular amount of time, but it doesn't make sense to kind of like put yourself in a situation where you are going to continuously feel hurt by trying to reach out to someone and them not reaching back, you know, to sort of like save a friendship. If they don't care enough about it, then there's no point, right? It's dead.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So that's basically what happened with us, guys. And I'm hoping that us talking about it here will help some of you. I know friendships are hard. Relationships are hard, you know, every kind of relationship. And it's like, it's a thing. You had to work on it. It's not something that will just be perfect, you know?
Yeah, Blue's one of my best friends, so I'm glad we were able to work our shit out, because it would have been pretty unfortunate to lose a great person as a friend.
Oh, I feel the same way. You're amazing.
Oh my God, thank you.
All right, enough of that shit.
Okay.
We are going to just like, now after that, we don't have topics for you guys today. That was basically our main thing for the show. We just wanted to explain what happened. We wanted to give some insight to friendships, and we wanted to give you guys some advice as to how to handle situations. We have grown from this. We've been basically better, I would say, than ever. Like we've been back to calling and texting and doing our things, like dragging people behind the scenes. Just kidding, guys. Maybe.
She's still posting selfies with ugly filters, so I don't know if our relationship is ever gonna recover.
I like my bunny filter. Oh my gosh. Whatever. You know what, guys, tell me, is the bunny filter really that bad? Can you please, like, go check out my Twitter, let me know. I don't think it's that bad. Hashtag bunny filter for life. Just saying.
Nah, fam.
Luca hates me so much right now.
Nah, fam.
I don't know. I thought it was alright, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong. So we are gonna do our segments. So our next segment is our Girl, Let Me Tell You. And we also have a submission for you guys today. So first we're gonna give you guys our Girl, Let Me Tell Yous, and then we're gonna read our submission, which I'm super excited for. And if you don't know, you can email us and send your stories to us. Why are you laughing?
Garuda was like, "It's bad. No offense. Listen to Luca." This is what I like. I like to hear. Listen to Luca, and Luca's right. Those are my favorite words.
But why though? Wait, why is it bad? Which one? Because there's like 5 different bunnies, and also
all of them.
Also, Snapchat, like, why do you only have a bunch of bunny ones? Can you give me like different material to use? Because I'm kind of,
I don't like the bear one either.
Oh my god. You know, which ones do you like? I'm not like, I forget it. I'm about to stop using filters. I don't know why I introduced them to, I don't know why I bothered with that shit. All right, well, I'm gonna fuck. I don't like that he agreed with you. That's not funny.
It is a little funny.
Anyway, we're gonna do Girl, Let Me Tell You. So here's where we give you some stories about what happened in our lives. And since we had some time away from each other, there's actually a lot of things that happened when you weren't around. And it was kind of sad because I was just like, oh my God, I got to tell Luca about this. And then I was like, oh, wait. Me. So that was kind of, that was sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a couple things happen that I wanted to tell her, but I couldn't because we weren't talking, so.
When we had that first conversation after we made up, though, it was like super long. I think it was like 2 hours of us just like updating each other on our lives. And literally it was so sad because it was only like, what, 3 days or something? And and we had so much bullshit happens in 3 fucking days. Like, y'all are crazy. I'm just gonna say that. Like, why are people so weird?
I don't know.
Oh boy. Well, yes. You want to go first? You want me to go first?
Oh, mine's pretty short. Listen. Listen. My coworker comes up to me, right? And, you know, she's acting a little finicky, a little odd, and she's just kind of like, "Hey, you know, what's up?" And I'm like, "Hi." And I'm at my desk, like, trying to work and stuff, right? And then she starts, like, singing some song, and I'm like, what's going on? Because normally she doesn't sing around me or anything like that. So she was just acting very weird. And I'm like, okay, what's up? And she's like, she was singing some song about not sleeping with a guy because they're not friends or something, right? Just something like that. Like, she wants to be friends with a guy, but she's going to end up in his bed. Like, something like that, right? And so I'm like, all right, so are you singing this for a particular reason? Is it because, like, you having issues with some guy? And she's like, oh, no, of course not. No. And I'm like, okay. And so I gesture for her to get away from me so I can continue working. And then I go by her at the end of the day so I can get some of her candy, right? And I'm like, hey, what's up? And then she's like, so yeah, my friends invited me to this party, but I can't go there because Raul's going to be there. And I'm like, who the fuck is Raul? And she's like, oh, I didn't tell you about him? I'm like,
Hold on, wait, what's his
no.
name?
Raul.
Oh my god, I'm gonna kill you. You mean Raul?
I'm black, not any sort of Latina, so I don't know how to pronounce that, ma'am. Anyway, but yeah, so Raul, right? Yeah, so she's telling me about him, and I'm like, all right, cool, tight. And then she's like, yeah, I can't go there because we slept together a bunch of times.
Oh god.
But I developed feelings for him, but he didn't want to be anything but friends. And I was like, all right. And then I was like, wait a second now. Is this is the song you were singing, right? And she's like, what? I'm like, ma'am. And she's like, yeah. I'm like, listen, you could have told me this 6 hours ago. Like, why were you just holding it in? And she's like, well, I just need time to process these things. And I'm like, okay, but okay. All right. Because it's like she just randomly just starts talking. And I do this too. I do this all the time. But she's like, she randomly starts to, I hate filters on you, miss. I don't hate filters because I look cute in filters. But like I just randomly start talking about something that, like, say me and Blue were having a conversation at 9 a.m. and then we started talking about other things. I would bring up the same conversation at 6 p.m. expecting her to
Hello?
to jump in and
The fuck?
I was thinking to jump in and like leave where we left off and know what I'm talking about. So she did this, and I'm just like, fam, listen, I need you to like, I need to have like an ABC conversation, not an AE conversation where you just skip the middle parts and I have no idea what you're talking about. So I just need people to communicate with me a little bit better. I definitely didn't care that she didn't want to sleep with this guy, but it's always fun to listen to these stories, right?
Okay. I'm still stuck on the fact that you're saying Raul. I'm just like, what?
Well, I'm still stuck on the fact that you keep using those ugly ass filters, and I guess we can't all get what we want, ma'am.
Listen, we are gonna make a freaking poll on Twitter because honestly, I think Bunny Blue is super cute. I'm just saying.
All right, listen, guys, if you know what's good for you, you better vote against.
Excuse me? Are you threatening people to get votes on your side?
What?
This is not how this works.
I would never threaten anyone in my life. I'm just saying.
If you know what's good for you guys.
Everyone's best interest to say Bunny Blue is a no-go. I'm just saying, fam. Just saying.
This is just gonna be, I'm never gonna let this go. I'm just gonna I'm gonna think about this all day. I'm in favor of ears. You see? Look at that. Bam. See? I got one person on my side. I'm just saying. Girl, let me tell you. So, I mean, I know everyone knows about these cab sharing apps. Basically, you do a pool, other people get in the cab, whatever. I'm on the right side of the car in the back, and the cab driver has to stop and pick up someone, and it's on the right side. So usually I move over so that the person can get in the car. It's fine, whatever. But sometimes especially if I notice, if I see that the person's in there, I just go around. Like, I don't bother. So the person saw me, and I thought that that's what they were doing. I thought that they were going to go around to the other side. No, the woman decides to stare right at me, open the door, look at me, and say, I'll go around. And I was like taking off my seatbelt to sort of move for her, and she's just like, I'll go around. And I'm like, did you need to take the fucking time to open the door and stare at me and then say that? Like, you could have saved so much fucking time by going around the car and opening the door and getting in the other way. No, you just had to make a freaking scene and sort of look at me and like with this attitude and just be like, I'll go around. Like, listen, lady, I don't know who you are. I don't care. But you better make fucking better decisions in your life, because this is ridiculous. How the hell are you, like, I don't understand.
Someone in the chat. This dude, yourself is me. What's up, man? It's been good talking to you, by the way. He's like, Blue, just ask yourself this. You gonna hop on the subway with bunny ears on your head?
Hell fucking
Good
yeah.
point.
Hell,
Good
I
point,
will.
fam.
Do you know
Nah,
me?
nah.
Do you,
I do know you.
Do you? I will hop on the. I will hop on. Okay, I was gonna say I will hop on the train with bunny ears on. Stop it. Also, I was gonna say I will hop on anything, but that would be kind of bad. Just well. But yeah, we will do bunny blue on the bus, bunny blue on the train. We will start doing that if I have to, just to make my point. Don't mess with me, people. Anyway.
Anyway.
So yeah, can someone like explain to this lady that it might have been a good idea to just go around the cab instead of staring at me and for like 5 seconds and being like out around, dumbass. Anyhow, moving on. I guess you are in New York City, touche. Exactly. Like, hello. I will be that crazy person with bunny ears on my head, looking fly, talking about hi. I would hold a carrot. Like, you guys think I'm joking? Yo, Halloween is coming up. Like, I can.
This conversation's going left real fast. I don't know about this.
Listen, y'all think it's a joke. I will prove you wrong. I will do it. That's how like petty I am sometimes.
All right, I expect pictures on Twitter.
No, but you
go get some bunny ears. I want to see them.
No,
what, ma'am?
What?
What? What?
Why are you challenging me this though? Like, you weren't the one that brought it up. Why are you challenging me? That's not
because I want to see you in real bunny ears.
Oh my god! All right, who's gonna buy me bunny ears? Because I'm not buying them shits.
Ma'am, it's like $5.
What? Fine. We'll do it. I'm gonna have the bunny ears and I'm gonna use the bunny filter.
Please don't use the filter. Just do the ears.
Oh my gosh. Anyhow, let's move on. I can't believe, because YOLO. Exactly, Andy. Let's go. Chat. You guys get it. Dollar store has them. Okay, Mel. Mel getting me them deals. Why do you have to if you challenge me to something, I have to challenge you to something?
Sure.
Okay. I gotta think about it though. Guys, what should we challenge Luca to do? I need an idea. While we think about that, let's move on. Oh, we are gonna talk about we're gonna read, guys. We gotta read now. We have a submission and I'm super excited about it because it's our first one, and I'm hoping that you guys love it. I'm hoping that this gets more people to submit some stories. You can send us a written out story if you would like, and you can send us a voice memo. Just record it on your phone and send it to the email that you see on the screen, speakpodcasts@gmail.com. All right, I'm going to read this for you guys. I got to get my reading voice on. This one was submitted by Don. He changed his name, I think, to Don TV, but you guys can find him in my Discord if you would like to give him some advice yourself. The link for the Discord is in the info bar. All right, guys, ready? Girl, let me tell you. It's one thing to fight for your woman, but then it's another when you have to fight another guy for your woman. When I say fight, I mean fight for her affection, to choose you as a potential partner for the rest of your life, to live happily ever after, white picket fence and all that jazz. It was a Saturday morning and my girlfriend at the time stayed at my house. We had been together for 7 years. She was the love of my life and my first girlfriend. We did everything together. Our parents would tell us that we hung out too much and we needed to spend time with our own friends. We just laughed it off and continued to love each other forever. Until that one day, a January Saturday morning, we argued.
Do you want me to read this?
No,
I'm struggling, fam.
I'm struggling.
Yeah.
Okay. You having a party over there? We argued, which wasn't a first. We argued all the time. Every Thursday, to be precise. We were driving back from a party on a Friday when I sent when I said to my girlfriend, we need to stop arguing. I'm getting really fed up with the bickering. If we have another argument, it's over. She agreed. Saturday morning, we had a little disagreement, and she called me an idiot as I was leaving my room to calm down. I spun back into my room and calmly yet firmly said, it's over, and told her to leave. 10 minutes later, my girlfriend was gone. The next day, I got a text. I'm sorry. I replied back, it's okay. Can I see you? She said. No, it's over, I replied. Over the next 3 months, we would go back and forth. She wanted me back. I said no. I wanted her back. She said no. I'm sorry, I'm like putting like, we would meet every so often, have sex, and then one of us would say, we can't be together. It was a vicious cycle. During this time, I decided to join the gym. I cut all my hair off, my hair was in braids, and signed up to my local gym. I completely changed my appearance. I felt like a new man, new confidence, new look. I finished work early on a Tuesday evening in March, so I decided to dedicate some hours in the gym. The gym was my home away from home. I was loving it. The new friends I was making, I was working out intensely on a bench, mainly because I was thinking about my ex. When out of nowhere, she turned up at my gym. My home away from home, my safe haven. I felt violated. She was intruding in a place where nobody knew me. I placed the weights I was using back on the bench, preempting that she would come over to say hello. She gestured in my direction. I was ready to show off how hard I've been working over the last month. Plus, I just finished a set, so I was feeling
Why did you say hard like that?
Because he was feeling, like hard. Like he was like working hard. Like what? He was feeling ripped.
Suspect.
Shh, I'm doing a great narration. Stop it. She walked closer and closer and then walked right past me as if she didn't see me, as if my name was Casper. I spun around. Maybe she had made a mistake. Maybe my appearance changed so much that she didn't recognize me anymore. I turned around and to my surprise, she was hugging another man. I was mad. Now I know what you're thinking. She isn't your girlfriend anymore. But you see, in my heart, she was still my girlfriend. So I stood there, waiting for his hug that lasted a lifetime to end. They embraced, and then he let her go, almost lifting her off the ground. I noticed he was one of the gym instructors. This man's body had 0% fat. His body was ripped and well-proportioned, pecs, abs, everything, and he was good looking too. Wait. I'm sorry. I hated him. It turns out he was a successful businessman and he owned a really nice sports car. If we stood together, we would look like a before and after picture. I would admit, they looked good together. My ex was a model and he was a gym instructor. Their relationship went on for another month. I would see them together in the gym working out. Why didn't I leave? Well, call me petty, but I was here first. She was intruding on my territory. I called her one evening and confronted her about her relationship with him. She denied it, saying it was in my head. I thought I could sex her back to me. It didn't work. I confronted her again and told her to choose between him or me. She said, I want both. I was ruined. I could actually feel a knife cutting the veins and arteries in my heart, piece by piece. I had to step away. I had to stop crying myself to sleep. It was a national holiday in May. I didn't have anything to do, so I went to the gym again. I parked up, headed up the stairs and through the glass doors. Opposite the doors were the treadmills. 2 persons were occupying the treadmills. One of them was my ex, the other was a gym instructor. I went over to say hello, and as soon as I did, like a little Mitch, yes, Mitch, he ran off as if his workout finished when he had 5 minutes left on the timer. You know, he meant bitch, right? My ex was mumbling, saying random stuff. I knew I caught her off guard. I knew then they were together, and my chances of getting back with her was done. I looked back at her, staring at her, speaking to me, but I couldn't hear anything coming out of her mouth. I was thinking about all of the happy times we had together and how they were all gone. Within a second, mid-sentence, I walked away and headed to the men's changing room. The changing room was empty, or so I thought. I wanted to let off some steam. What better place than the sauna? This was my favorite place to hang. Plus, it was empty, which I was glad because it was a tiny room and literally only space for one person. I sat in the sauna and put the heat on medium to low. I don't like it too hot because I get dehydrated quickly. 10 minutes later, the door opens. I didn't mind having a guest in the sauna because I like to make new friends, but this person was not a friend. In fact, he was the one person I couldn't stand to even look at. Yes, it was this gym instructor next to me. Silence. More silence. Should I say something or should I just sit here? I sat there, wiping sweat from my head. He stands up and leans over me to put more water in the coal to make the sauna hotter. He did it again and again and again until it felt like I was in the Caribbean during a heat wave. I was sweating more and more. He just sat there without any problems, the sweat dripping off his body like water off a duck's back. I was there ready to pass out. He leaned over again, adding more water. It was a face-off face. He took my girl, and now he wants my sauna? I wasn't having it. He already ran off like a bitch, and now he wanted me to be a bitch too? Nah, there's only room for one. Mitch. 30 seconds later, I was the bitch. He won. He had my girlfriend and my sauna. I drove home, admitting defeat. I decided to leave the gym for good and let him have my girl and my sanctuary. To be continued. My ex-girlfriend came back from Australia after this. My ex-girlfriend came back. Okay. So, that was the end. What do we think about the story?
Let her go, fam. Just let her go. She sounds like a real headache. Obviously, she's playing both of you, man. And I think you should move on because I feel like that's the healthy thing to do. This may sound harsh, but there's billions of beautiful women out there, especially if you've been working out, man. You cut your hair, you're looking good. Like, don't be hung up on one girl.
I like how he describes, like, I was feeling ripped.
I mean, yeah, like, it's good that he's feeling good about himself, because some people, after a breakup, they'll, like, eat themselves into a stupor and gain a bunch of weight and all that shit. But he did something productive. He went to the gym, he started working on himself, bettering himself. Listen, fam, y'all broke up for a reason, and you had a shaky relationship where you would just have sex with each other, and it wasn't, like, a real relationship, you know? Let her go, man. Just let her go. And leave your ex-girlfriend out of this. Like, you know, don't draw her into this drama. Don't try to get with her to forget your other ex. Just, like, you know, if you and your ex-girlfriend are chill, if you're friends, cool, be friends. But don't start anything with her. You need to take some time for yourself and get over this girl, because you don't want to be wrapped up in her, because honestly, life is just way too short, man. It's way too short to be focused on one person. And it may seem like, oh, she's my entire world. She means the most to me. She's still my girlfriend in my heart. Bruh, there are other women. And it's like, you just think about it like this. Think of something that upset you, like really, really genuinely upset you. Just, you felt awful about it 2 years ago, right? Does that same thing still affect you now? Do you feel anything about it? Or is it just like a distant memory where you're like, wow, I can't believe that really got to me like that? And it's going to be the same with her. It may take some time, but you definitely need to stay away from her, because you're not, listen, man, you don't want any of that. You don't want any of that. And you don't want to feel envious of some other guy and be comparing yourself to some other guy, because honestly, it's not worth it. It's really not. Bruh, there are so many beautiful women in this world. Like, so many. And I'm sure that a lot of them would want to be with you, man. Like, I'm sure you can find a girl who's good for you, a girl who communicates with you, a girl who doesn't say, oh, I'm not going to choose, I want both of you. Because, first of all, that's not fair to you. And that's not fair to the other guy she's with. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and if he wants to be the idiot to stay around, even though he, you know, could tell that she was doing that, then that's on him.
Yeah. Yeah, go have some one-night stands. You know, hang out with your boys, hang out with your friends, hang out with your family. Get her out of your system, and then move on. But you need to, like, delete her number. You need to stop contacting her. You need to stop talking to her. And like I said, I know it's hard, but she's definitely bad news, and your relationship with her is over. And even if you were to get together, everything that's happened in the past few months, all those bitter feelings, they're not going to go away no matter how much you want them to.
I think, first of all, I want to thank you for sending your submission. I think it's, it's important to remember, guys, that it takes a lot to share this information with us. So yeah, thank you for that. I do think that, yeah, it's time to move on. And I realize, it's upsetting because you guys kind of let each other on for a long time, and you kind of had this thing where you were together but not together, and so it was just like this 1 foot in, 1 foot out kind of thing going on. And the problem with that is when you do things like that, you don't end things, and so those feelings don't get resolved. And so yeah, you're gonna feel jealous if you see them with someone else because you guys never got over each other. Like, you didn't move on and heal. And it's important to do that, I think, when you end a relationship, and don't skip that part, because then things like this, won't happen. Also, I just gotta say, like, you don't have to be insecure. I know it's hard not to, especially with the way you describe this guy. I mean, I was a little surprised you weren't just like, yeah, maybe I should have gotten with him. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, his pecs and yeah, he was just describing his pecs and his like abs and stuff, and I'm just like, oh
yeah, he was just probably really envious, like
you don't have to be envious. Everyone has what they bring to the table, and you were working on yourself, you were making yourself better. Like, just find another gym. It's cool. Obviously they were rubbing it in your face. You don't need that. Just go to a different one, make yourself look as good as you want, and yeah, you're gonna find someone else. You definitely will.
Yeah, and think about how long your life can be. How long is it for? 7 years?
I think so.
Yeah, 7 years in the grand scheme of things is not a lot of time, man.
Yep, 7 years.
I
mean, that's a fucking long
You'll
time.
find someone else. I mean, I get that it's a long time, but it's just kind of like, if you're alive for 70 years, 7 years out of 70 years, it's not a lot. You know what I mean?
In the grand scheme of things,
like,
not.
You gotta step out of yourself and think about the situation on a broader scale, because you cannot wrap yourself up in another person like that, man. It's not good for you. And honestly, it's not fair to her either if you don't let her go. And if you don't make her let you go, because she's not going to be able to move on, and she's never going to be happy either. And maybe that you're thinking, yeah, that's what I want. I want her to be as unhappy as I am. But if you're really thinking that, then you have to consider, do you actually love her, or are you just trying to hold on to her because you guys were together for so long and you just don't want anyone else to have her?
Is it you being selfish, or is it, because the what's really the thing going on here is that you didn't want her with someone else because you couldn't have her. And that in itself is a selfish thing to feel, right? And, you don't need to hold on to the one person just because you guys had so much time together. You'll find someone else. It's fine. You'll do it. We believe in you. And yeah, you don't need to go for your ex-girlfriends. Like, maybe it's helpful to find someone new. You guys are exes for a reason. Remember that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. And thank you so much for sending your submission. Like I said, I know I came off as a bit harsh, but sometimes that's all you really can do, because I think you need to really reevaluate what you're doing in this situation. And I want you to be happy. I want you to be genuinely happy. And you're not going to be happy if you stay hung up on this girl.
Exactly. Thank you for sending, seriously. And I hope of course, this was sent a little bit ago, so I don't know if you have another story for us, but I hope you'll send something else, and I hope all of you listening will send a submission. Again, you can send it to the email. We will be posting it in the comments, in the description below, and you guys can also let us know over Twitter and the Discord if you want more information. Yeah, we are super excited to hear from you all. That was our first one. How exciting. All right, we're going to move on to our next segment, and that is Fuck That Shit. Fuck Fuck that shit. My thing just acted crazy right now.
Yeah.
We tell you guys the things that we hate here, and we kind of go off on our little rants. So there's that. So, what's your fuck that shit this week, Luca?
Yeah, everyone on Twitter who thinks it's a good idea to message me some bullshit about mooch and crap, y'all need to stop. That shit's very annoying. I genuinely do not care if you hate my friends. I don't care. Like, I'm cool with people on Twitter who absolutely despise mooch and crap. But you know what? They know better than to come to me with any bullshit. They fucking know better because they know that I'll curb stomp them verbally. They know this. And they have enough and they have enough respect for me as a person and as a friend to not bring up my other friends to me saying, hey, I hate them. Like, I don't give a shit if you don't like them. That doesn't have anything to do with me. They're my friend. I'm cool with them. They've never done anything to hurt me. They've always been good to me. So I don't have an issue with them. And I would say the same thing to them if they were coming to me like, oh, I don't like this person or this person. I'm like, I don't care. Like, that's cool. Don't talk to them. Don't talk about them to me because you know that they're my friend. So I got a bunch of messages Saturday where people just thought it would be cute to just like spam me messages talking about mooch and crap and how much they hate them. And I'm like, get a life, losers. Get a fucking life. I'm not here to be your fucking therapist. I don't care if you hate them. Get off Twitter. Go get your dick sucked. I said that on Twitter.
Oh boy.
Like, I honestly, if I had a boyfriend and I found out he was like on social media talking about other men like this, first of all, I would absolutely just not sleep with him ever again. I'd be like, that's pretty pathetic. And you're a loser, you know? Like, I'm sorry, but you are. Like, honestly, I just don't understand what the obsession is. Like, these men go on social media just obsessed with mooch and crap, posting tweets that they made 2 years prior out of the blue just to work themselves and other men up in like this hateful little circle jerk as they talk about how much they just hate other men. And I'm like, let it go. Don't y'all have girlfriends? Don't y'all have games to play? Go do something productive with your life. You are giving people who don't give a shit about you power over you by talking about them all the time. Mooch and crap don't care that you hate them, okay? I'm sorry, but they don't. And I don't care that you hate them. Honestly, the only other people who care that you hate them are other people who were blocked by them, who also hate them. And it's just like, if I don't like someone, I don't talk about them or to them or anything. I'm like, all right, I don't like them. And I go about my day because I'm not going to let someone I dislike have that much power over me, because what's the point in that? What do I gain by focusing all my energy on and time on hating someone? Nothing. I could be doing something so much more productive. So fuck that shit. Leave me alone or I'll break your jaws, okay? Thank you.
All right. Verbally though. All right.
Verbally, of course. I'm only 4'11". I can't. I'm like a hostile little chihuahua or whatever.
Yeah. I agree. I think that shit's annoying. Like, I don't know why people find that entertaining. If you hate someone, it just like block them, mute them. Like, who gives a fuck? If you disagree with what they say, that's fine too, but you can go about it in a way that doesn't make you look like a dick, you know? But yeah, speaking of Twitter DMs, okay, here's my thing. I had to block someone recently because people think that it's okay to like make jokes about things like, me being their girlfriend or like me being in love with them. I'm going to tell you something right now. That shit ain't fucking funny. Like, I don't know what kind of jokes people laugh at when you tell them that's not funny. I'm not your fucking girlfriend. I don't know who the fuck you are. So if I ask you to stop doing something, don't ignore what I'm asking you to do and post it again, because your ass is gonna get a block. And you know what? I don't give a fuck if you care or not. But yeah, you're gonna miss out. Because if you get blocked by me, most likely you're gonna miss out on the shit that I'm posting. Because I don't only post bullshit.
But they might also not see those filters that you use, and I think maybe that would be a benefit.
You know what?
To
You know what?
Yeah?
You're gonna get a block too.
Okay, I love you, by the way. I'm just saying, you know.
Like, and everyone else, everyone else that sees this shit, don't laugh at it. It's not funny. Like, you're making it worse by laughing at the fact that the creep decided that they were gonna post, oh yeah, Blue's my girlfriend. Who the fuck are you? I'm sorry. I don't, this is not funny. And so, yeah. So I had to be like, can you stop? And they just like, oh, but you love me though. And I was like, block. And then that's it. That's the end of that. Like, I'm not playing games, guys. Like, I'm not posting fucking shit on Twitter for you to be like, oh yeah, this is my girlfriend. No, it's not happening. Yeah, so fuck that shit. Thanks. Bye.
Yeah, I've gotten that before as well. Don't do that, guys.
It's
like,
creepy.
I've recently, it's pretty creepy, yeah. I recently posted a picture of myself. Someone like saved my picture and then just made a random post saying that I was their girlfriend. And then a bunch of people were like blogging it or retweeting it and like commenting, and I had to be like, I don't know this guy like that, you know? I'm not with them. I'm not like,
same shit
it's
happened
weird.
to me. It's so weird. It's so fucking weird. Like, and if you see your friends doing that, can you please say something, guys? Like, especially if you know who the person is, you know, like, just tag them. If you don't want to say anything, DM it to us. Like, our DM, I mean, my DMs are open, whatever. Like,
mine are as well.
Just send the actual tweet to us and we will handle it. If you don't feel, you know, brave enough to say anything to this person. But, like, come on, like, if you are friends with these people, just like, let your friends know, hey man, you're being a creep. Like, that's fucking creepy. And honestly, it's not okay. It's just not. Like, things are on social media, fine. Obviously there are people that are gonna do things. We can't control people, but I just feel like we can kind of at least make the person feel bad for doing it, and maybe they won't do it again. I mean, you know, there's like a possibility of that. But just like, stop being.
You know what I genuinely hate? I hate when people are like, well, I was just joking. It's just a joke. I'm like, I'm sorry, but if your joke is at the expense of my feelings, then it's not funny. And it's not about, I'm not sensitive or like a social justice warrior, which I fucking hate that term, by the way. Like, I'm none of those things. It's just like, if your joke is just to hurt someone else or to make someone else uncomfortable, then it's not a joke. It's just you being cruel. Mm-hmm. And that's not cool.
I mean, you're blatantly lying. That's number one. Like, it's funny to lie about shit that includes another person. Like, that, really? Because that makes no sense to me. Like, if I go around saying, this is my boyfriend. This is my boyfriend, guys. This is my boyfriend. And the person has no idea
they
what
would
the
totally
fuck
say
I
you're
am.
a crazy bitch.
Yeah, I'm crazy, right? Like, what?
Yeah.
Are you serious, though? Like, what the fuck? So, I mean, it's fine to compliment. Like, we're not gonna, I mean, obviously I'm not gonna shit on you for commenting. It's fine to joke, being like, you know, what kind of fucking filter is that? Like, it's fine, I don't care. Just like, I don't know. Or especially because when I post these things, it's never just like, oh yeah, I'm posting a selfie. I'm usually saying, hey, I'm about to stream. Hey, this is what is going on here. Like, you can comment on the context. There's that, you know. I'm giving you some like pointers. Most likely, if you're commenting on the context, we will comment back to you, you know, because that's how that works, guys. Hint, hint, wink, wink. You know, if you really want attention. If not, you're just going to get a block. Like, I mean, isn't it better if I'm interacting with you? No, right? Because that's what I want. If I'm commenting on someone's post, it's because I want to like have a dialogue with them. If not, I wouldn't bother commenting. I would just like and leave. That's it.
Yeah, and I've gotten a lot of odd comment. Are you okay?
I was laughing because I said I do that to you all the time.
All right. Anyway, I got a lot of odd comments after I posted my picture, and thank you for the compliments. You know, I appreciate it, but some guys take it just way too far, and I'm just like, not really comfortable with this, and I just decide to just ignore the messages. I'm like, you know what? I'm not about to deal with this. because I don't want people bothering me like, well, Luca, he was just kidding. You can't take a compliment. Like you got to be like that. Why are you like that, Luca? I'm like,
Nah, you guys need to know, like, there's a difference. And if you're not sure if there's a difference, then don't post it. Right? If you have to think about, like, is this gonna come off as creepy? Maybe you shouldn't post it. Maybe you should change it to something like funny, or just, or a funny, GIF or something, or I don't know, just like, there's ways to go about it, guys. Come on.
Yeah, just think before you post, people, please.
And gals,
please.
and, everyone. It's not. I'm saying guys as a general, term. Everyone, talking to everybody. It's not only like the creepiness too. It's a lot of things. It's like people posting on your stuff with like sort of kind of sounding like hateful, kind of like giving you a compliment, but not really.
Well, what do you mean?
Kind of just like, oh, you're streaming again, or oh, another selfie. Wow, like those kind of comments. And I'm like,
who said that?
I post sometimes when I'm trying to promote on a group that is which is allowed, by the way, for the game that I'm about to play. And so people will be like super like side eye, like, oh, so another Twitch streamer. Okay. And I'm like, are you excited about it? Do you want to come and say hi? Like, I'll just be like super like ridiculous to their comments, because comments bump it up anyway. So I don't give a fuck. Comment whatever the fuck you want. I don't care. You're helping me. But yeah, like, who are you? Like, why? I don't understand why people feel the need to write things that are like negative on other people's posts. It's just, I don't know. If you don't like it, you can just keep scrolling. Hashtag keep scrolling. God damn. Anyway. Yeah, there's that. So, moving on. Let's get into our but why though? But why though? Where we give you some silly stories from our week, or in this case, 3 weeks. I don't know if you guys knew this, but I was going out of town for some time, and so I went to go visit some friends in Maryland, and so I had to take a like 5-hour bus ride, and that shit was brutal. And can we talk about, like, honestly, the ultimate blue on the bus? That shit was ridiculous. And I was kind of tweeting it out while I was on there. Honestly, guys, like, that bus ride is not fun at all. I've done it like maybe twice before, and each time it's just like, oh my gosh. So we got a blue on the bus, and I just want to say, sometimes these things can help you, people. Just saying. So, you should
hashtag blue on the bus.
You should think about this stuff when I complain about it, and think, hey, am I doing this? Is this from the last blue on the bus? And then maybe it'll help you. So, let's see. I literally wrote down like 10 different things, and honestly, they're all fucking ridiculous. So, I just want to say one thing. If you're on the bus, especially if it's a bus with lots of people, it might be a good idea to not eat stinky Chinese food while you're on the bus, because like this is a very particular kind of bus that there's like no space. Really, the aisle is like very small. There's like people sitting right next to you. I don't know, might be a good idea to just like, I was sitting next to a lady, and she decided that it would be a great idea to take out her platter of food, put it on her lap, and just start eating it. Like, just like, and I'm like, first of all, chew with your mouth closed. That's disgusting. Second of all, why does your food smell so bad? Like, I thought it would, like, I don't understand. Like, why are you, if I'm going to eat something on the bus, which of course is 5 hours, like, we're all going to eat, obviously. Which I didn't, though, but, because I ate before I got on the bus, because I'm smart. But, whatever. I'll give people that they have to eat, whatever. And I think that if people are going to have to do that, then it would have been like a sandwich or I don't know, something that's like a little like ease. No. She brought out a platter, a fork, and there's like rice and like some meat. I don't know what kind of meat she was eating. And honestly, that thing, like, it went up my nose and it made me like, ugh, you know, that feeling of just like, ugh. So of course I had to sit next to the person that was eating, you know, that was fun. So guys, if you have to eat on the bus, can you at least try to make it food that's not gonna smell up the entire bus, even when you put it away in your bag? Just saying. And she took it out twice, so there's that. All right, moving on. What is your but why though? Hello.
No, I'm here. I'm sorry. I saw something funny and was like laughing. Listen, hashtag blue on the bus. Maybe you should like invest in other forms of transportation, ma'am. But anyway.
Wow. You gonna send me the money? Because then it'll be.
If I had more money,
blue on the train.
If I had more money,
how do you get there?
If I had more money, I would definitely.
You can either take the bus there, take the train there, take a plane there, or you can take a drive. But I don't drive, so there's that. Luca, you should just move over here and we can just like take field trips together.
That sounds fun. I would take care of you. But all right. So my but why though, listen, fam. So the chef at my job, she's awesome. She's amazing. Like her food is always super bomb, and she's a vegetarian, so she doesn't like eat meat, but her burgers are always perfect. Like she's awesome, right? She took like a vacation. So they got a replacement chef, right? And I'm like, all right, cool. Tight. We'll see how this goes. First day of work, I go in, I go get some eggs. Tell me why I open the cartridge of eggs and it looks like some McDonald's eggs. Like they're not perfect and uniform and beautiful like they are when she makes the eggs. They're just like clumped together, looking like some McDonald's breakfast eggs. I'm like, all right, okay, cool. Tight. I'm gonna eat these because I'm hungry. I'm gonna let it go, okay? The next day I come in, my coworker's like, hey, I went to go get a burrito from downstairs, and the guy, he like gave me an attitude. He was like, he was acting like he didn't want to do it, like it was like a hassle or whatever. And I was like, okay, cool. So I kept that in mind. I went downstairs and I decided to order like the special, what they are including for that day, right? The special turned out to be like pancakes with blueberries in them and some bacon, right? I get these pancakes. They're not finished cooking, okay? There's still batter inside of them. The blueberries didn't seep into them perfectly. Like, it's just, it was really disgusting. I was like feeling some sort of way about it. And then I was like laughing to myself a little because I was like, I can't believe this is actually happening. And then a guy like across the way, he looked at me and we looked at each other because we ordered the same thing and we were both just like shaking our heads. And then the cashier, she's like, hey, she asked him, she's like, what's wrong? You don't look very happy. And he's like, oh, well, doesn't feel like my pancakes are finished cooking. And then I started laughing because I was like, yep, same. And so I decided to just throw away the pancakes, and I go up to them and they're like, you know what, just take it. Just take it, because I went to go get some oatmeal instead, and they were like, it's fine, just take it. But this guy doesn't know how to cook, and he has attitude issues, which, first of all, do not give me an attitude. Listen, it's part of my job to be nice. When you're at work, I feel like you should conduct yourself with, respect for yourself and other people, even if you don't like other people. I don't like most of my coworkers. Like, I used to straight up despise them, but it's like, you have to be polite, you have to have a bit of decorum, you have to act a certain way, especially if you're serving people food. This guy, I just want to, like, if I saw him in the street, I'd like push him down. I would push him or something, like, you know what I mean? Anyway, so I haven't been back since. I've been avoiding the cafe, and they lost a customer because of this dude. And I went to the cashier. I was like, so, when is she coming back? Like, when's the other chef coming back? And she was like, oh, why? I'm like, no reason in particular. I'm just curious, And she looks at me because she knows what's up. And so I'm like, all right. But that's just like, that's my but why though. Like, but why were my pancakes not cooked? It's pancakes. I don't even know how to cook, and I know how to make pancakes, man.
Oh my Wait, you don't know how to cook?
No.
Oh my gosh. We gotta show you how to cook when you come
Are
here.
you going to teach me how to cook?
Yes.
All right. Sounds good.
It's happening. Yeah, so that's disgusting. I would have said something to someone to sort of that guy needs to get fired.
Oh, I mean, they know. They know. Like the head chef, he knows. So, and I'm sure I'm not, like, obviously, I'm not going to be the only one who has complaints. So hopefully they can, like, psycho him out with someone else.
Oh man, that's um pancakes. How you not know how to cook pancakes are so easy. Like, ugh, gross. I'm glad you didn't like eat them though.
Oh yeah, I was
You would have
I'm definitely gonna kill that guy. But no, I'm just kidding. It's not that big of a deal, but still.
I think that I think that people need to get their shit together. We say it every time on every street, on every show. And yeah, it's important to remember that. Get your shit together. Even us, we have to get our shit together. Look, see, we did it. We did it. It's not that hard, guys. I'm just saying. We got our shit together, and that's why we did a show today. Oh, man. All right, so let's move on to our next segment, which is, of course, us telling you where you can find us so that you can hang out with us and, you know, chill with us and see what we do. We do other things, guys. We don't only do speak podcasts, but we're so glad that you're here and listening.
Yeah, thanks for coming by, guys.
Yes,
we appreciate it.
Chat. If you're not here live, then
we appreciate you as well.
It's okay. You can listen later. It's fine. We don't mind. We understand everyone's busy. That's the best thing about YouTube. You can come and click later on. And don't forget, you can share with your friends. You'll be surprised how many people enjoy podcasts. They're really helpful to have when you're driving, when you're cooking. Some people listen to them before bed. Some people listen while they're showering. Some people listen while they are walking to work. You know, there's a lot of things you can do while you're listening to podcasts. Just saying. Cleaning the house. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, if you are interested in finding us on other places,
I like that you answered your own question. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we have all of our links down in the info bar below. I'm Blue, as you know. And I do stream to Twitch. I do play a whole bunch of different video games. So you guys can hang out, maybe join me.
She plays Fortnite and Gears, that's it.
That is
some
not
Destiny
true.
Here and there. That is 100% true.
That is not true. I play lots
Name
of games.
What other games, miss?
First of all, Destiny is not only sometimes I play.
Look, she's thinking about it because she knows all she plays is Fortnite, Gears, and Destiny. Come on.
Listen.
Ma'am. Yeah, yes.
I change my games depending on what I feel like playing.
I'm waiting.
All right, well, I'm waiting for Call of Duty to come out. So there's that, because I don't like the way that freaking Black Ops is. So I don't feel like playing that shit. And I did play the Battlefront beta. So there's that. And I'm waiting for that to come out. And why? So you just want me to list every single game I've played?
Yeah, I want you to list all the games you played in the last 2 months.
2 months?
Yeah.
How am I supposed to remember that?
Previously, I can name all the games I've played in the last 2 months. So.
Oh yeah, because what games are those? Like all the single player games? Yeah. Okay. I play single player games. Just saying.
I play single player games. There's tons of multiplayer games out here. All she plays is Gears, is because that's the one she's the best at.
No, Gears.
Yeah.
I hate Gears. I haven't touched Gears.
You hate. I know you hate Gears. But you're still good at it.
Oh, thanks. I stopped playing Gears because it's like so broken. Like I play it every now and again because people request that I play, but for the most part, I can't.
The gist of the conversation is all she plays is Gears, Destiny, and Fortnite.
That is not true. I was playing Cuphead. and first of all, Destiny is kind of.
Oh yeah, okay.
And I'm gonna be playing Evil Within 2 for Halloween. If you are interested in seeing that, I'm a motherfucking punk. I will be jumping.
Is that like Halloween night or what?
It's gonna be Halloween day. I'm gonna do an extra long stream.
Do you have work?
No, I took the day off.
Oh, I took a half day.
I was like, I don't feel like going out, and I'm just gonna put I'm gonna do this like costume, I guess. Fine, and then I'll be streaming in costume.
Oh, really? Is it a cute costume?
It's gonna be kind of cute, but it's a surprise. You have to come and see it.
I mean, okay, cool.
I'll send you a picture with no filter.
Sounds great.
Yeah, so there's that. I do have a Discord if you guys want to join. We are very silly in our Discord, so it'll be lots of fun. And yeah, I'm on Twitter, so you can find me there if you want. All right, Luca, where do we find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter at TheAshenLuca. You can also find me here every Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then you can find me on Dealer Gaming's channel for RDX Podcast. That is a Xbox-centric gaming podcast. It's a great show. Those guys are awesome. So it's 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Tuesdays, Dealer Gaming channel. And just want to say thank you, everyone, for showing up and listening and hanging out with us in the chat. All of you guys are awesome. I had a lot of fun talking to you guys. I appreciate everyone who said they are on my side when it comes to Blues filters.
Oh my god!
And
you just had to. You just
appreciate everyone who's listening after the fact as well. We love you guys.
I will be posting a poll. Okay, we will see who wins this. I'm just saying.
Okay. All right.
Bunny Blue is amazing. I mean, what the fuck? Okay, so definitely swing by, guys, next week. Sundays at 2 p.m. Eastern is when we go live. If you can't make it, that's fine. Don't forget to like and don't forget to leave a comment. Those help us tremendously. And we love you guys. Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Bye.